Howdy do y'all, this is John, and today we are talking about the Resident Evil Remake, a video game from 2002 by Capcom. And in Resident Evil, it is about this group of Raccoon City police officers who go to investigate this mansion to try and find this other team of Raccoon police officers that went in there and disappeared. But of course, as we all know, things are a lot more nefarious because this whole mansion and the forests surrounding it are all infested with zombies. Zombies made by the iconic T-virus. And after that, it's really you're simple. Just try to find a way to survive this horrible ordeal situation. That's what the rest of this game is. And as I hinted at the beginning, this is a remake of the original 1996 Resident Evil. This very iconic and at the time groundbreaking video game that created survival horror as we know it now. Now, I never got a chance to play the original Resident Evil. However, this remake got a HD remaster about 10 years ago, and not that long ago I bought the Switch version. And I think the rest is history. Okay, so getting into it, first and foremost, what I liked about the video game. Before I get into the story, I want to talk about the graphics, because I'm not going to lie. The graphics have surprisingly aged very well for a 23-year-old game. Now, it may have something to do with, of course, I played on the Nintendo Switch. It's not that, high def of a hardware, but I played the Switch on my 4K TV. Who knows what the heck happened there? But I'm not kidding. I am surprised at how nice this game still looks over 20 years later. I don't know if with the remaster they beefed up the graphics or something like that, but I would not be surprised at all if they did that. So the graphics look nice. How about the story? Well, the story, it's simple, but it's still very strong. The original Resident Evil, created many of the tropes and stuff that you see in survival horror, including, everything being in an isolated location, like a cabin, in this case a mansion. However, it's nice to see that at least the remake still manages to come out as original. It comes out as original, and, the storytelling in it is, simply put, pretty A-class. Now, I know they did add some stuff to this remake, like the Crimson Heads, and also Lisa Trevor. Neither of those were in the original game. Why they added them to it, I don't know. But, at least with Lisa Trevor, I can see where that added more weight to the great game. Crimson Heads, not so much. I wouldn't argue it takes away a lot or much. But the Crimson Heads, I'm just sitting there going, well, these zombies now have their New Balances on and are running. Kind of takes away from the fear factor of zombies a little bit. Just these walking slow things that are inevitably going to grab you. That's scarier than something running at me. Okay, I'm just sorry. I'm sorry, but I just find this slow or normal paced thing that just inevitably is going to grab you to be scarier than something running at you. And how's the voice acting? The voice acting, it's really good. I've seen some clips of people playing the original Resident Evil, and yeah, the voice acting's pretty atrocious in that one. It's a 90s game, what do you expect? But with this one, the voice acting's pretty good. I don't know all of the voice actors' names, to me, the standout is whoever the heck voiced Barry Burton. I like that guy. The lady who voiced Jill Valentine also does a good job. I don't like her as much as I like Nicole Tompkins. However, she does a good job. I appreciate that. Also, for the most part, the controls and the mechanics, the combat and the puzzle solving, I do also like a lot of them. Now, again, I played this on the Switch. They're always different with their own games. But once I got the hand of everything and, what the controls are, it was a very, very good time to play. Now, there was one thing that was bothering me, like you would not believe, that involved the controls. However, I'll get to that later because it has something to do with the friggin' camera setup. Puzzles were difficult, I will admit that. However, I was able to get through it and, solve all of the puzzles, at least the ones I could find. This is me we're talking about. I'm determined. There's also a few things about older games that I really miss. Because, I was able to play some video games around this time period on my PlayStation 2. Which, automatically, this was not one of them, unfortunately. Yeah, it wasn't until I got my Switch version before I could play this game. They originally made it for the GameCube. We did not have a GameCube, but some of those older games I remember, there was no yellow paint everywhere. If there was an object you had to break, it was just simply a lighter color of all of the other objects that you could not break. There was an object you could pick up, you'd occasionally see this little glint of light reflecting off the object. And all of this was in this game. I miss that kind of stuff. Because, it took you just a little bit longer to figure out, hey, maybe I should do this. Maybe I should pick this up. Maybe I should break this thing. Nowadays, they cover everything in yellow paint and you know what to do immediately because yellow paint stands out. And it's stupid. However, the one thing that I do not miss about games from this time period is fixed cameras. The whole fixed camera thing, I'm not gonna lie, that was really the only big thing that was truly annoying me. Now granted, I did not find the Crimson Heads to be that scary. I was just in there going, well, I'm screwed with them. But the fixed camera thing was just irritating the heck out of me. I'd be going down a flight of stairs, and because of how my brain works, the moment that the camera angle changes, I automatically start changing the controls, and I go face first into a wall. I don't know why my brain works that way. It's just me. Not only that, but the whole fixed camera thing, it kind of ruins the horror element sometimes. Because visually speaking, there's all the right elements for good horror. When you can see the enemy coming towards you, that just ruins it immediately. So guys, at the end of the day, the Resident Evil Remake, this is a really good game. However, I would definitely make the argument that maybe at least one more remake is necessary. I have multiple reasons for it. Obviously, change it from like a fixed camera thing to, at the very minimum, a third person over the shoulder sort of ordeal. That would help a lot, especially with the horror element. But my biggest argument would be with the recent series of remakes. They are appealing to a new generation, like my generation and Gen Alpha. And unfortunately, my generation, we never got a chance to play the original games. And chronologically speaking, we're coming across a game a potential remake that has a, villain in it that's very important that, a lot of other Gen Z gamers get introduced to him. Gen Z gamers like myself who are willing to play older games and stuff, we're not a dime a dozen at all. And that's kind of sad. And of course, this particular villain was introduced in the original Resident Evil. So I would definitely make an argument that for that's sake, there should be another Resident Evil 1 remake. Just that argument alone. But back to this Resident Evil, this was a really good game. I like the, gameplay. I like some of the combat. I like the story. The graphics have surprisingly aged very well. Voice acting's on point. The whole fixed camera thing, though, was bugging me the entire time. And unlike, the light glints and stuff, I do not miss that. And I would definitely recommend this game for anyone who has not played, this remake or the original game yet. I am going to give the Resident Evil remake a 9. Yeah, I still thought it was worth a 9. Well, that's all the time I have for today. Please look forward to more videos real soon. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Please also subscribe if you're new to the channel. And as always, please remember, the